we want to welcome you to this series, Built to Last. My name is Chris, and this is my wife, Sara Short. And we're just really excited to be able to go on a journey to talk about what it means to create homes that can stand the test of time and be built to last.
And right now we are actually in some of our really good friends' house. And just a few years ago, they had made the decision that it was time to do some updates. This house was built many years ago, and some things had broken down or just run down. And so it was kind of time to restore some things. And some of it was silly, like you're picking out paint colors or what's the floor gonna look like. But it was done with intentionality. It was this idea that she wanted to create an environment, a home where people could gather together, that they felt safe and secure and warmth, that they could create intimate moments together, but it was so intentional and purposeful.
That's good. Well, and if you've ever been through the process of building, remodeling, even just buying a house, you know that there's so many choices, so many things that you have to think about, plan for. What kind of design do you want? What kind of furniture, fixtures, colors, all these different pieces. It takes intentionality, it takes planning. And kind of the key part in all this is before you build a home, you have to know the design. You have to have a plan for what you're gonna build. What do you do when you're looking into marriage, when you're building a home in your life? That you wanna build something that's gonna last. And so many people run straight to picking whatever plan they want to take. There is an intentional design and plan in this process. There is a blueprint that we see.
Marriages are not doing well. 50% of marriages are ending in divorce. Marital satisfaction even is at an all-time low. How many marriages now, I think, that we even work with, just the two of us, that are scarred by abuse or addictions, and it's hard, you guys. There is so much going on. And so even before we get started, we want to be totally upfront with you guys and know that we're working off a specific design so that there's no questions of we're going to be pointing back to what His Word says.
And that's where it starts, is if we look at the whole of Scripture, we see an intentional plan, a design that He had. We see in the very beginning, Genesis 1:27, where it says, God created human beings in His own image. In the image of God, He created them, male and female, He created them. He had a plan. And then we see even in the creation of marriage that there was this intentional process that He went through in Adam and Eve. And we see in Genesis 2:18 through 25, we see this whole picture of, this is bone from my bones, flesh from my flesh. She shall be called woman because she was taken from man. There's intentionality. And we see even in that excitement and process that Adam responds, this is amazing, this is exciting. We see there's two are united into one, that the man and his wife were both naked and felt no shame. There is an intentional process that God went through in this design. It wasn't by accident. It wasn't by accident they were male and female. It wasn't by accident that He would take the rib from Adam to create Eve, and then He put them together to become one. There was a plan and design.
We know further into the story that then Adam and Eve step out of that design. And what we learn really quickly from that, what I learned quickly from that even personally, is that if I'm outside God's design, it's gonna lead to destruction. It's gonna lead to chaos. It's gonna lead to hurt and pain and frustration. And so it's important to remember that there is a design and it matters. And I love the verse in Psalms 127:1. It says, unless the Lord builds the house, the work of the builders is wasted. And I don't want our marriage to be wasted, and I don't want your guys' marriages to be wasted.
What is God's design? That we actually stop long enough to say, He had a plan and intention for relationship. He had a plan and intention for the world, that He wants to do something special. And that's what we're gonna be walking through with this book. And we're gonna parallel it with the idea of a literal home. And we think about the intention that goes into a home, the parts that go into planning, building, designing a home. And we're gonna start with looking at the foundation. We're gonna look at the walls, the roof, and what it creates inside of that home, all these different components, that there was an intentional design, and we see that in Scripture, and we're gonna see that as we play this out in our real relationships, that we want to create homes that are built to last. We're excited to go on this journey together.